Hi, good morning. It's me. So we are on 1 Corinthians chapter 7, and we are picking up in verse 10, and this is going to be about marriage and divorce. I'm just trying to pull it up on the screen here. Verse 10, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. So the verses prior to this, Paul was giving us his advice. Now what he's saying is this is not his advice, but this is the Lord, what he has to say about those that do marry. Verse 11, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. So God does not like divorce. However, it does happen. God even divorced the house of Israel when they went chasing after harlot religions. And even God gave Moses in Numbers 20:22 the reasons that one could put away his wife or the wife could put away the husband. It's not a pleasing time, but sometimes it has to be done for the sake of both parties. And I want to say really quickly, if you are a lady or a man, if you are being physically abused or abused in your marriage, get out of there. God does not expect you to stay in an abusive marriage. Okay. And the reason I bring this up is because many years ago, there was a lady that had expressed that's why she was staying in the marriage, because God does not like divorce, and she didn't want to displease God, so she wouldn't get divorced. But we are not punching bags to be physically abused. God does not expect you to put up with that, okay? Verse 12, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Paul is giving his own advice in this verse, okay? And what he's saying is that if a man or a woman, they marry a non-believer, and the unbeliever, whoever it may be, the man or the woman, as long as they're not interfering with your worship or your serving of God, and they're happy to be with you, then stay in that marriage. Stay in it. Verse 13, and the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So the same thing, which is basically what I just said. Verse 14, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. So what this verse is referring to is it's saying, as long as whoever the unbeliever is in the marriage, as long as they are not preventing the children from being raised up in the ways of the Lord, then this is fine. Okay. Verse 15, but if the unbelieving depart, let them depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God hath called us to peace. So God freed us from evil and bondage, and he desires us to be pleased in all areas of our life. So if the unbelieving husband or wife is putting pressure on you, that would put you in bondage and take you away from your duties to Christ, then you are free to seek divorce or separate. Verse 16, for what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? So the implication here is that if the partner wants to go and you interfere in their departing, there's really no way of knowing whether you could help to bring them to salvation or not. And then verse 18, verse 17, but as God hath distributed to every man, as the Lord hath called everyone, so let him walk, and so ordain I in all churches. So God has distributed gifts to each people, and one might be teaching to one, and another man's gift is something else. Don't go chasing after someone else's gift, okay? You have a gift. Learn what your gift is, and use that for the glory of God. And then in verse 18, the subject matter is going to change. So I'm going to stop this video here. God loves you. See you next time.